If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your
Could we please give the graduates a warm round of applause? Thank you. Could we now stand for the national anthem? Thank you very much. If you could remain standing, please. We'll now have the opening prayer by Mrs. Gilda Stafford.
Let's bow our heads. Oh, loving Father in heaven, you are our Creator, you are our Lord, you are our Master. You are the one who breathes your life-giving spirit into us each day so that we can function the way you, Lord, created us to function. This afternoon, oh God, we, your children, have come before you. First of all, giving thanks for this first cohort of Project Uplift. This course, oh God, put on by your people from the Panorama Gardens Improvement Committee. And for these lives, oh God, of these young men that have been impacted by this program. Lord, we give you thanks and praise that you have brought them to a place for this time and for this purpose. Thank you for their parents, oh God, who have made it possible for them to be part of this initiative. Thank you, God, for the coordinator and all the other members of the committee, all those who facilitated the program along the way by giving their time and their talent and offering of their experience to inform the lives of these young men. Father, we thank you for the experience that they have had over the course of this program. We thank you even more, dear God, as they have declared today, I am the change I want to see. We know that change is only possible when you make it possible, because all things become possible when you are in it. So, Lord God, I ask that you will continue to be the light in their lives. Continue to be direction that they will need as they go forward, oh God. Continue to give them courage and strength to stand up for what is right, what is good, and what will continue to uplift them and uplift those whose lives they too would influence. We give you thanks for the proceedings here this evening and for all those who have come. Father, bless them in a special way and allow your Holy Spirit to take absolute and complete control of these proceedings. I ask this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. You can have your seats. Member of Parliament for Dabadi Omera and Minister in the Ministry of Education, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian. Welcome. Minister of Energy, the Honorable Stuart Young. Minister in the Ministry of Housing, the Honorable Adrian Leons. Training Coordinator of PGIC, Mr. Gard Guada and his executive. Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ms. Joanne Archie. Specially invited guests, graduates, parents and guardians, members of the media, good afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure to see Minister Stuart Young again, but in a different role. I want to say so. By the way, my name is Gerard Wilson, and I will be taking you through the program this afternoon. Those who know me, I was the former Commissioner of Prisons, retired in February 2020. The Minister Stuart would have been my boss for a period. And may I say so, it was an honor to serve under your leadership. Really an honor. Thank you. I'm not sure if Mrs. Julian remembered, but we would have met when we had the marathon for the sports, and you would have opened, you were mayor at that time. So congratulations on your ascendancy to Junior Minister. Minister Leons, we would have met also at Golden Grove when you came and we had a nice conversation. So I'm quite familiar with these three ministers, and I am really pleased that you took the opportunity to be here this afternoon, to be part of such, and to me, an emotional event. I'll tell you why. My time in the prison service, I would have spoken with a lot of the juveniles. And I can tell you that the young people that sometimes we take for granted need so much support from us, need us to be there for them, and don't allow the persons on what we would term the block take them or adopt them and change them into what you would not like. I have seen it, I've spoken with juveniles, and most of the times they would have come from broken homes, or probably the absentee mothers and fathers, and they live with probably an aunt or a grandmother, and it's a different relationship. And, you know, I want to call upon the fathers too to play a critical role, even though sometimes you come from broken homes. When I was 3 years old, my father left home, so I grew up with my mother, and she was mother and father, and I grew up in Sawa at a time when, if I didn't have that guidance from her as a tough mom, I may have been on the other side, who knows? And I always give this story because my friends some of them who I associated with as a youth, when I left Sawa and I went to Barataria to live, some of them were committing crimes in around West Savannah and other places. And so for me, it was timely. And because of my mother, so sometimes when you talk about single homes and single parents, I am telling you, if it's a mother alone, you hold the fort. Stick with your children. If it's a father, do the same. And although a mother cannot compensate for having a male role model, you can probably find another male, probably a brother, a cousin, or somebody, to be active in your child's life. It's important, it's critical. So I would like to, when God came to me with the idea of having this particular program, I was excited. And God, when he comes, he'll be able to tell you the trials and tribulations he would have gone through to see this program. And then when we talk on a daily basis, he'll be so excited about what was happening because God truly loves children. I can tell you, I'm his friend for years. Not only his boss at one time, but I'm his friend for years. And I can tell you that he genuinely loves children. So this is not any facade. This is a gentleman who really dedicates and will dedicate his life to seeing youths progress. And I want to tell you this. Let me recognize Ms. Giselle Chance, CEO of Vision and Mission, who I co-host with on a Friday on I-95 on this program. And we concentrate on youths, and we also spoke with Garth. And Garth invited 3 of the young men here and their mothers to guest with us on the program. And let me tell you, it was remarkable. These 3 young men in this program were remarkable. I remember a gentleman saying he was driving and he pulled to the side of the road to stop, to listen to what these young men were saying and how effective this program was or is. And I'm happy that God and the committee will continue and use this first group as mentors to the other young men that will come along. So please give God and the committee a hearty round of applause. So I could speak from now until 6 o'clock, but we only have 2 hours, God. So I'll cut it short, and I will just speak for a minute more by introducing the next person to come to the mic, and that would be Mr. Marvin Mason, General Secretary of PGIC. A round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Unfortunately, Mr. Mason isn't here, but I am Martin Mulchan, and I am just here on behalf of the Panorama Gardens Improvement Committee to thank everyone and welcome you at the same time. Parents, we are grateful for the opportunity you took to send your children to this. Facilitators, we are thankful. Members of Parliament, we appreciate all what you are doing. And please enjoy the afternoon, because the support is what these young ones need, and let us continue to give them that support. Thank you.
All right, short and sweet. Mr. Guada, on your program, you would see Mr. Gad Guada addressing you. However, Mrs. Julian cannot stay with us. She has to run off, so we will now introduce the Minister in the Ministry of Education, the Honorable Lisa Morris Julian, to address you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I remember you well. You could actually run. Folks, it is a great pleasure to be here this morning, and I want to take a little moment to boast. You see, I've known God for more than 20 years, and 20 years ago, we sat in the same sociology class. And in that class was Leo Ramkisoon, the president of the Firemen Association, Gavin Jofield, currently the vice president in the Republic Bank, or the budget analyst. And the reason why this particular class did so well is because we had a fantastic teacher, Mr. Chris Chinapu. Mr. Carlton Chinapu, sorry. Mr. Chinapu, if you're seeing this, please forgive me. And while God was a very good footballer, he was also a great organizer. And he had a lot of faith in young people. And I have the same faith. You all belong to one of the best constituencies in all of Trinidad and Tobago, and you are very important because you have Stuart Young. Let's have a round of applause. My favorite Rastaman in Parliament, Adrian Leance. Yes, I know there are two, but you're my favorite. And these young men also believe in youth. They believe in determination. They believe in hard work. And what you did in this program, not just you, but your parents, you are the future. You are going to be the next part of this country. You are going to rule this country one day. And this is because of a man like God and his vision. And I would just like to make a little announcement. Most of you come from Malabar Phase 2. And once again, because of Mr. Guada, Malabar Phase 2 will now become Panorama Gardens, which Mr. Gott envisioned, and we'll be working with the mayor and council to make it a reality, because you are more than a phase, you are more than a group of buildings, you are more than a community of houses. You are our people, and we will give you all the support that you need. Thank you very much. And as I leave, you notice I keep bigging up God. What God did for this community, we want him to replicate it for others, because we believe that this is the ideal way. It cannot be left to the children alone, but the parents, your community leaders, the politicians, the teachers, the prison officers, the firemen. Every single person should take a part in raising our children, because it takes a village. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Sure. Well, Minister Julian, I was quite confused because you said God is a good footballer, but I remember as an old man beating him all over the place. Trying to, is it the same God, brother? All right. One of the best. Oh, one of the best. All right, right. Okay, so I think we need to, or we will hear from the man of the moment, the visionary, a person who I have known for, how long, God? 50 years? for quite some time, and a good friend of mine, a brother. So, without further ado, let me bring Mr. Godwater, visionary, to welcome and address you.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Honorable Stuart Young, MP, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, my Honorable MP, Ms. Lisa Morris-Julian, Dabadi O'Meara, Minister in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Honorable MP, Mr. Adrian Lyons, Minister in the Ministry of Housing. I must mention Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Archie, facilitators, specially invited guests, parents, and most of all, my graduating class, Project Uplift. Good day. Mrs. Julian has another engagement, so we'd like to just push up one part of the program a little bit, and we have a presentation to her. Right? At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Asim Williams, please come forward.
We want to give you this gift from all the graduates.
Thank you very much. I like gold.
You like gold? All right, thanks.
Folks, I just also want to acknowledge Asim Williams, better known as Fats, as one of our most successful businessmen in the borough of Arima and in Dabadi O'Meara, and to thank him for always generously supporting all the endeavors for young people in the borough. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, so good day again. It is a pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I know that this sounds cliche, but this is usually what people say when they start a speech. But really, I feel humbled by this opportunity to be surrounded and supported by all of you and all my special guests. Let me start by thanking God for working out all things for the good. The Project Uplift story is one that is really amazing to me. This beautiful story started off by me, God Goda, sorry, I was told to take off my mask. So let me start by thanking God for working out all things for good. The Project Uplift story is one of obtaining beauty for ashes and strength and for tears. It is a story about turning a test into testimony and creating a masterpiece out of mess. I am Gad Goda, Program Training Coordinator of Panorama Gardens Improvement Committee, proud prison officer, proud father, recently proud grandfather, and founder of Project Uplift Male Mentorship Program, which has been a dream of mine for the past few years. And interestingly, it is a blessing that it finally came out. In March this year, I received my acting appointment as a prison supervisor. Imagine my excitement to get ready to perform these duties at a higher range, an experienced, dedicated serviceman. Mere 14 days after, I was forced to proceed on vacation leave. I was really angry and frustrated. And one of my good friends told me, "God, take this opportunity and turn it into something good. Find a business, become an entrepreneur." Honestly, I don't like selling anything. Anybody who know me, know I don't have patience for that. So I told them, if I tell you what I really want to do, you will be upset with me. So she was like, "What it is you want to do?" I say, "I want to be a community leader, but not the kind we know, the positive community leader." And up came Project Uplift. From that day, I took out my laptop and I started penning this program together. And with the help of the executive committee, Mr. Martin, who just did the welcome, Mr. Mason, unfortunately, Mr. Chauvignon, he is also absent due to medical. We came together and we put this program together. And I would also like to thank Minister Stuart Young, Minister Adrian Leons, Minister Lisa Morris Julian, just excuse 1 minute. Sorry about that. Yes. And we have other MPs, Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, right? Businessmen came together. Asim Williams, Fat International, Ronald Musgrave, Glory, Glory. We also had Mr. Perrimon, a manager of Scotiabank, Mr. Darrell White, who is recently the regional manager of Royal Bank. And all these men, Mrs. Archie, Mr. Brandon John, who also had an emergency today. All these people came together and they were so excited, and it gave me the encouragement to go on. Doing this program virtually was really hard. Doing this program virtually was really hard. But you, the graduates, every time that I signed on and I saw you guys waiting in that waiting room, it gave me the encouragement to go on. And I thank you for that support. Parents, I thank you for the opportunity you gave me to raise these kids with you. And I promise you that I am not going anywhere. Do not look at this graduation as us parting ways. This graduation is us moving on to another phase. You all will now become the mentors for the next cohort of Project Uplift. So before we move on, I would like to take a minute. We have a logo, and I want you to really understand the significance of the logo that we wear on that t-shirt. It's for those of you who have the program, the logo is also on the program. To the top of the logo is a black diamond. That black diamond symbolizes each and every one of you sit down here today in those white shirts and black pants. For those who know about fine jewelry, the black diamond is one of the roughest stones that you could ever see. And until a jeweler polishes that stone, then you will see the true beauty. And it is one of the most expensive pieces of jewelry you could ever attain. You are a black diamond. The crown, if you look at the crown carefully, the crown has 4 spaces. The first space represents you. The second space, love for your parents. The third space, love for your country. And the fourth space, love for God. There's a black shield. That shield means that you, young men, are the protectors of your family, your community, and your country. In that shield, there are 3 spaces, which represents our motto: success through education, mentorship, and sports. The candle symbolizes the light that you get through education. Without education, you cannot succeed in this world. Education is important. The compass is the mentorship. We are here to guide you through your teenage life, through your boyhood life, into manhood. And when you look at the ball represents different sporting activities: football, volleyball, basketball, and cricket. Sports is what builds a community. I remember as a young man, or as a young boy I should say, I grew up with a single mother, no father, and I always wondered what it was like to live in a family with mother, father, and children. Fortunately for me, I had two friends, Sherwin Long, who isn't here today, and Marvin Fraser. They both lived in perfect families, mother, father, everything. And Mr. Elcock and Mr. Fraser, they were the people I looked to as father figures. Anywhere they go with their family, they took me, and they showed me what it was to live in love as a family. You guys had the opportunity in the first program we had, when we did men as role models and builders of the community. Mr. Elcock and Mr. Fraser were the men who took you through that program. And I always believe it takes a community to raise a child, sorry. And we have that community. In our community, you have government ministers and MPs. You all had that in your program. In your community, you have police officers. You all had that in your program. Prison officers, you all had that in your program. Businessmen, you all had that in your program. Soca artists, you all had that in your program. We had reform gang leaders, that's also in the community. So everything it takes to raise you all, we provided it. And we will continue to work with you. I thank you, and I love you, and I wish all the best for you, and I'm always here to support you. 3 things I want you to remember. Who am I? What is my purpose? And how do I plan to achieve that purpose? Start from now, and you will never fail. Love you guys, love you parents, thank you everybody.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, God. And I hope you young boys and young men would have listened to the words of wisdom and make your parents proud, and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, we now have a testimonial. That's 8 to 11 by Zachary Thompson. Who's that person, God? All right. Hello? Right, I understand that he has some traffic issues. Hello? Hello?
1 2 1 1 1 1.
Yes, right, good. Okay, I understand a traffic issue, so we'll go on to testimonials 12 to 18. Caden Lewis.
Hi, Project Uplift Mentorship Management Team, invited guests, parents, and fellow graduates. My name is Kaden Lewis, and I stand here before you as a happy graduate of the first Project Uplift Male Mentorship graduating class. My introduction to this program, I was sitting in front of one of my friend's houses, and Mr. Gart was walking around giving out flyers. At that time, I wasn't really interested because I didn't think much about the group in particular. Huh? Hello? I didn't think much about the group in particular. I need to have people to talk to you and encourage you. My participation in this program started a few weeks after it had already started. The group was having a field trip. My friend Philip, who was already registered in the program, he invited me to go to the field trip. I had to join the program, so I said, you know what? He is my friend. He wants me to go. I will join, and I will go. We visited the cricket academy. There we met and spoke with 2 young cricketers. It felt to listen and speak to people who made it in life and what they went through to be successful. The next few days, I had my first online program session. The topic was interesting to listen to. The guest speaker was talking about following his dreams, being a successful businessman, making his brand, and also that taking that brand overseas. After that first online session, I knew I wanted to be part of this program. I learned a lot in this program, such as budgeting and money management. Hello? No. Bullying and peer pressure, social media, internet safety, cybercrime, rejecting gang culture, and drugs were some of the topics talked about. Dining etiquette was also our first in-person session. There was also free up Sundays for physical fitness. Our facilitators came from a diversity of different careers in society and life, such as entrepreneurs, TTPS, prison services, bank industry, religious sector, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, and an ex-offender, among others. I now understand the importance of group of like Project Uplift, founded by Mr. Gard, for young males in society. A group like this can keep young males like myself off the streets and from following the wrong crowd. Getting to meet and speak with a lot of big people in Trinidad and Tobago, having them answer your questions, it felt surreal. It made you feel good about yourself, glad about yourself. It also motivates you to be the best you and aspire you to be the best you can. On behalf of 2021 Project Uplift Mentorship Program graduates, I want to thank Mr. Gart and his team, all the guest speakers, facilitators, donors, volunteers, and everyone who was responsible for making Project Uplift Mentorship Program a reality. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. I think we now have the presentation of certificates 811. 811, right? So we now have the presentation of certificates 8 to 11. Okay, so as you hear your name, you will come up and collect your certificate. You give it now? Oh. Right. So, Ministers Leons and Honorable Stuart Young will give out these certificates. So, when you hear your name, you'll just come up and collect. Jace is Jason Best. Jason Best, come up here. Right. Micah Mangal Singh. Thank you. Antonio Lopez de Graaf. Thank you. Nehemiah Fifield. Adrian Toussaint. Jahari Auguste. Thank you. Kamari Waldron. Oh, not yet? Oh, okay. Jacquees Williams. Another? Okay. Lemuel Fraser. Oh, William. Turn. Right. Lemuel Fraser. Yeah. Liam Wilson, who is my grandson. Malachi Bramble. Malachi, sorry. Sorry to the parents, Malachi, sorry. Zachary Thompson. Not here? Okay. Jaden John. And Kezran Reese. And you're going to how much? Huh? Okay, so moving on with the program, let us bring on a gentleman who I told you before that I work with, who I admire a lot, and we had an extremely good relationship, and I got all his support, so I'm happy. I want to use the word elated to bring on our next speaker to chat with you. And if I know the gentleman, he will not come here with a paper at all. He will extempo from start to finish. So it's my honor to present to you the Minister, the Energy Minister, the Honorable Mr. Stuart Young.
Good afternoon to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Wilson, who you've heard. I had a very good relationship with. We went through some difficult times. Garth was there as well, but we made it out and things were better when we left it. To my colleague, Minister Adrian Leons, the Member of Parliament for Laventille East Mover, and my good friend from Parliament, to Miss Lisa Morris-Julian, who's left us, the Minister of Education, in the Ministry of Education, to Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ms. Joanne Archie, again, someone we spent many hours together planning, strategizing to make Trinidad and Tobago a safer place. To one of the men of the moment, Garth, and his team, to you, the graduates of this magnificent program, well done. And most to you, the graduates, to the parents, for you recognizing the importance of giving these young men, your sons, your nephews, your grandchildren, and just these young men, the opportunity of entering this excellent program that Garth and his team put together. And to all of you, the specially invited guests and members of the media, thank you. Just by your being here this afternoon, you've once again shown these young men how important they are to each and every one of us. And it would be wrong of me not to mention my colleague who can't be with us today. She's in Tobago, who is the person that introduced me to Garth and asked me to assist with this program in a very small way, Minister Shamfa Kujo. Fellas, you all have done well. I remember my interaction with you all a few months ago and wondering what it would be like. I gave a very brief introduction of who I was and some of my life story, and then handed it over to these young men that we're here to celebrate today. And the questions that they asked, some may call it precarious, but they were brilliant. And we have seen at National Security, where I was previously, some of the ills and negatives can take place with persons in our society if we don't provide the right amount of guidance and, more importantly, support. So parents, thank you. Thank you for trusting Garth and his team and placing your young men in their hands and allowing them the opportunity. I'm looking around and I'm sure many of the persons sitting here were also persons who spent some time with the boys in this virtual world and did the little mentoring that we did. I hope my short time with you all on that day, I didn't want it to end, as you all kept asking the questions, would have made some difference in your life along the way, and certainly the other mentors you would have engaged with. I can certainly remember when I was your age, at the various ages, little tidbits and small things when you interact with people along the path of life. It's never the big things. It's never sit down and listen to a massive lecture or anything. It's a small piece of advice a Cub Scout leader would have given me along the way. A Scout leader would have given. A priest. Just somebody when we were camping who said this is something to do. A teacher. And you are so lucky to have people like Garth and his team in your life. And what I'm looking forward to now, because you are the first class, the first cohort as they call it, Garth and Mr. Wilson, Miss Archie will tell you the first batch. You are the first batch of this magnificent project, Uplift program. You now have a responsibility to speak to other young men. The young guy who gave your testimonial, you said you were sitting down outside your friend's house, and Garth pulled up and invited you. And look at the difference it made to you. I look at the older boys. You now are going out to be the men in your community, the men in your society. You have a responsibility. Speak to the other fellas. Keep everybody in the right path. It's not easy. We know it's not easy because it's not an easy world out there. But you are getting the tools. You have the support with your parents, your family members, people like Garth, Mr. Wilson, Miss Archie, these other exemplars in society. You watch MP Leonce. He is working tirelessly in Laventil, in Movar, even in East Port of Spain, making the difference by those interactions and positive interactions in life. I am looking forward to you being the next generation of doing it. That when we come along, not too long from now, and we ask God, so what happened with the boys, that first batch, because I am calling you the first batch. He will say, remember the one wearing the red mask in the front? Well, he has now gone on to pass for his first choice, or his this, or his that. The fellas in the back are now playing football, kicking ball professionally, or working in off, whatever it is you want to do. I have one piece of advice for you today that is a piece of advice that has served me well. When you wake up in the morning after you've said your prayers and you're going through your day, you will be called upon to make decisions. All of us have to make decisions. Do I have cereal or do I have toast? Do I play with this friend or do I play with that friend? Do I go and do something wrong or I do something right? As you go through your day, always try to make the right decisions. There's a saying, look after your brother the way you would look after yourself. That works. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Always think about that. And never forget where you came from. And most importantly, I am my brother's keeper. So if you see a friend, your brother, going down the wrong road, pull him back. Because you, the men, are the ones who have to take us forward in society. And the last thing I'll tell you all, treat our women right. Very often, men get that wrong. We all have mothers, sisters, girlfriends, wives, nieces, etc. It is up to each and every one of you, the graduates today. Let's start with you all today. Respect your women, respect your mothers, your sisters, your girlfriends, your wives-to-be, and always treat them right. Treat them the way you would want your mother to be treated. Okay? Just promise us that, and we would have started off along a much better world and better path. Garth, sir, congratulations. Sit here today and feel a great sense of pride, because what you did in pulling your community together and keeping this together in a virtual world is not an easy task. Congratulations. We need more like you in our society throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Well done. Congratulations to you and your team. To all of you who have supported, thank you. And I mean that as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. To the parents, stay there. Keep your prayers, because being a young man and growing up in today's world is not an easy task. And as one of the previous speakers said, it takes a whole village to raise a child. We've forgotten that in Trinidad and Tobago in some places. You, the parents, you, the family members, you, the friends, continue to support these young men. Let's help them be successful in life. And there's no definition of success apart from doing the right thing. Thank you all for the opportunity to share a few words with you today. I enjoyed the limited time I had when I interacted with you all. And it's nice to see you here, not virtually, in the real world. And as I look at some of you, remembering the questions that you all were asking, always ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you for your time. And thank you all for giving me the opportunity to share a few words with you today. Congratulations. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we move from one giant to another. I'd like to, well, of course, Minister Leons, as I told you, we had a nice dialogue in Golden Grove, and I can tell you this is a man of humility. And Minister, I don't envy that area you represent, because I know it could be pretty tough for you, you know, always in the news and so on. But you are doing a fine job, and I hope that God gives you the health and strength to continue. I know that the Prime Minister would have placed Minister Stewart in the right ministry, that's the Ministry of Energy, because this gentleman certainly has a lot of energy. So I know that he would not place wrong pegs in square holes. So to address you now, let me bring on the Minister in the Ministry of Housing, the Honorable Minister Leons.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. And you are a real soldier. This man here took his job beyond what he considered as just his duties, and he mixed it with passion. And for that, I thank you for your service. I want to recognize my colleague, my minister, young and energetic, and the Minister of Energy. And one of the heroes of Trinidad and Tobago, I want to recognize God. God, you're a hero. You're a hero. I want to recognize the parents and all the persons that would have shared as mentors, and most importantly, the graduates of today. Give them a round of applause, please. In this society, we are plagued with challenges with men and the role that men play. So when we have programs and opportunities where we are able to develop men, and we are also able to highlight real men, and real men coming to mentor, I have to say this is something that we have to replicate throughout Trinidad and Tobago. You see, these young men are the building blocks of our society for tomorrow. And we have to recognize that. And we have to believe in that. So parents and mentors, have some faith in your children, in these young men, and speak positivity, speak power, speak purpose in their lives. Because this is the fruits that we expect to reap as we are older and they take control. Let us believe in these young men and let us love them. Because for some strange reason, I don't know what it is, but men shy away from love. Youngsters, don't be afraid to tell your mother, your sister, even your brother that you love them. That's a powerful thing. Keep love in your heart. In the Bible, they say, love is God. And a nice song say, if you don't know love, you don't know God, because God is love. So keep love in your heart. Keep your dreams in front. In the whole program, in this whole program, you would have listened to a number of speakers. A number of speakers that would have shared their story. I shared a bit of my story too. But what was key is that each of these stories, there were challenges, and they were able to show and explain how they were able to overcome their challenges. So understand, your testimony, your mentorship that you would now carry forward would have its challenges. Don't give up. Don't give up. You are the future. You are the heroes of tomorrow. You are the next God. Listen, and I want to tell the nation, Trinidad and Tobago, that I listened and I looked at this whole program, and I recognized that there are a number of people that want to see positive changes in the communities. I listened to Garth and he spoke about all the businessmen that came together, soca artists, members of the protective services. These people would have taken time to talk to these young men and mentor them. It means there's a will for us to become a better place. There's a will for us to become a better society. Speak positivity in the ears of the young people, and we will reap the rewards of it. Let us sow the seeds. Young men, when you sow a seed, you have to nurture it, water it, watch it grow, protect it, give it sun until it grows. And when it grows, it brings forth fruit. Your life is the same way. Plant positive seeds, write positive goals, think about it every day, nurture it. When you go to school or you go to work or whatever you indulge in, if you're doing homework, if you're doing housework, think about the positive dreams and goals that you have in mind. Those are your seeds. And these are the seeds that you nurture. And when you nurture your seeds, your plant grows, your dream grows, and it bears fruit. And then you have a testimony. So God, youngsters and parents, and the rest of this nation, let us plant positive seeds in our youth. Let us believe in them, and we will enjoy the fruits of tomorrow. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Minister Leons. We want to continue with the presentation of certificates, and this group will be 12 to 18. Right, 12 to 18, and to hand out these certificates, I would ask Deputy Commissioner Joanna Archie and Right. Mr. Uplift Eli, please come up to the stage to present the certificates. Right. Zachary Thompson, are you here? Zachary, right. So, Zachary Thompson was a bit delayed. He's now here, so he'll collect his certificate from the first group, 8A level. Thank you. Well, I will not be caught this time. You cannot laugh at me this time. The next person is Malachi Joseph. We now have Lorenzo Durga. Deshaun Mason. Zia Biggis. Elisha Vota. Joshua Pemberton. Isaiah Heinemann. Aidan de Gazor. Yanis Nelson. Zuri Pear. Kaden Lewis. Gibran Maguire. Kalik Cook. Mikel Rahim. Nahum Matthews. God, I feel all they're trying to set me up. I don't know why. Malachi Charles. All right, Malachi, hold on. Just turn to the audience, and take a bow. This gentleman got 7 old CXC passes. I was just told. All right, collect your business. Thank you. Adriano Greenaway. Thank you. Daniel Vota. And last but not least, Samuel Trim Newton. Thank you very much, Deputy Archie and Mr. Uplift Eli. Mr. Guado, Mr. Uplift Eli, that's the same fancy place in Westmall? And he came to your program? Mr. Eli, please. You know, it's really touching when persons like Mr. Eli and other persons here, distinguished persons, ministers could come to this, because I know it means a lot to God. And when God spoke about Mr. Eli and other business persons coming to the program, I could have seen the joy on his face. So it's not just words. It's to tell you how much we appreciate your presence here and what that would have done to the young men here. There's a saying that the only thing that is constant is change. And sometimes we don't ever believe that a change will come. We have COVID, and every time we turn around, it's another strain, it's another name, and then every day we keep hearing the numbers who would have contracted and those who have died, who would have left us. And sometimes we wonder. But to bring some hope to us this afternoon is a parent by the name Kizia Joseph. And this parent says that a change is going to come. Please, Ms. Joseph.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Before I give my rendition today, I would like, on behalf of all the parents of the Male Mentorship Program and myself, to give a heartfelt thanks to all the members of Project Uplift and all the businessmen and ministers and everyone who poured into this project. You know, today with all that is going on, sometimes we tend to worry about the hope of our young men and our youth in the community. But I believe today that if we all be the change we want to see, like the members of Project Uplift did, that the change will definitely come. Tent, oh, and just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. I said, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me down. Right back on my knees. No, 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 no. There's been times when I thought I couldn't last for long. But now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will. Thank you.
Wow. Woo. I don't know. I feel today is the last day of COVID, you know. Wow, that change coming for sure. Beautiful. Please give her another round of applause. God, I think you need to think about having a entertainment arm, a musical arm of this is incredible talent. As we move on with the program, we have presentation to the facilitators. So let me check my list. Right, you're going to do the honors? All right, good, yeah. Okay, all right, I was told that we have a slight change. Both Minister Young and Minister Lyons has to leave, so we will do the honors with them first and then continue. So could we call Honorable Minister Young to collect? Right. And the tokens are being given out by Melissa Diaz, who is the secretary of the organization. We now call on Minister Lyons. Okay, and we now call on Miss Archie. I'm not calling you acting anything, eh? I don't know about that, right? Now call on Deputy Commissioner Joanne Archie. Miss Archie, don't move so fast, don't move so fast. There's a presentation to give you on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
So, Mrs. Archie, I would like to thank you sincerely. From day one, the first time I met Mrs. Archie and I told her about the program, she was like, God, write me, tell me what you want, I will make it happen. Through Mrs. Archie, we had the Trinidad and Tobago Cybercrime Unit. We had the Trinidad and Tobago Mediation Victim and Support Unit. We had Senior Superintendent of Police, Mr. Alexander. And these young men were so excited when he was here. All of this was possible through Mrs. Archie. So Mrs. Archie, on behalf of Project Uplift and Panorama Gardens Improvement Committee, we'd like to present a token to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Melissa, please.
Thank you again, Mr. Jati. I expect nothing different. Right, so do we go on to the facilitators? Right. So we go on to the facilitators and who is it? Right, okay. Take care. Yeah. You give it now? You give it now? Mr. Mulchan, Martin Mulchan, could you come to the stage, please? Okay. Mr. K. Fraser. Is Mr. Fraser here? He isn't? Okay. Miss M. Mohammed. Okay. Is Mr. G. Wilson here? G. Wilson? Mr. A. Williams. Mr. R. Musgrave. Mr. E. Eli. Ms. W. Howard. Ms. K. St. Louis. Mr. R. Hari Prasad. My good friend and prayer warrior, Pastor W. Kelly. Mr. M. Solwazi. Senior Superintendent Bijan. Not there. Mr. K. Pierre. Mr. Pierre is the Deputy Director of the Victim and Support Unit. Mr. J. Noriega. Thank you. Mr. R. Dixon. Mr. J. Rodriguez. Oh, Mr. Pierre will collect it on his behalf. Thank you very much. And Mr. Gardguada will call this person for his token.
Thank you very much. This person is a special and dear person to me. He's a fellow prison officer. And we had a session called Free Up Saturdays. So for 12 Saturdays, Mr. Orlando Pyle had all these young men virtually with mop sticks, jumping, stretching, doing all different types of exercises. Mr. Pyle, for your contribution, we'd like to specially thank you, Mr. Orlando Pyle.
Mr. Pyle, you pile it on them, man. Right, thank you very much for right. I was now informed that there are two ladies in the audience who seem to be very anxious to assist. So we're going to call on them now. Miss Marcia Hope and Miss Giselle Chance to the stage, please. Right, we have special awards for attendance And then we have awards for outstanding. So we'll start with the attendance first. And the first person on the list to receive an award for attendance, and that is good attendance awards are given to the participants who have attended 85% or more of the programs and are always punctual. So the parents of these young men should take a bow. The first person on the list is Jason Best. All right, Micah Mongal Singh. Antonio Lopez de Graff. Nice. Nehemiah Fifield. Adrian Toussaint. And of course, to give me trouble again, Malachi Bramble. Thank you. Zachary Thompson. Jackie Williams. Lorenzo Duga. Isaiah Heinemann. Yanis Nelson. Khalik Cook. Nahum Matthews. And Malachi Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I must recognize the Minister of Youth Development and National Service, the Honorable Foster Cummins, who is standing on the outside. So, Mr. Could you come, please? Yeah, you could, yeah, sure. You came just in time, Minister. You came in time. So they're all standing now? All right. So thank you, ladies, very much for your kindness. And Minister Cummins has accepted our request to hand out the tokens to the outstanding participants. Thank you very much, Minister. Right, so let me read what is here so that you'll understand what this particular token is about. Some graduates were very involved in the program, asking questions, making suggestions, and having the facilitators on their P's and Q's, including Mr. Pyle. The following are the main participants who have been awarded for their involvement. So the first on the list I'm seeing here is Jession Best. I'm being told that he got his award for the sessions with Mr. Pyle, the free-up sessions on Saturdays. I understand he burned out Mr. Pyle. Mr. Pyle, you feel you're fit? Look. Lemuel Fraser is the second on the list. Understand that Mr. Fraser worked with the social workers and the counselors and so on. So, yeah, so he would have been working with them. Well done, young man. Zachary Thompson. Oh, all right. This gentleman, Mrs. Chance, is one of the young men who would have spoken to us on I-95 when we had our program. So, and the gentleman was amazed. Malachi Joseph. I understand Malachi Joseph is one of the entrepreneurs. So come on, give him a round of applause. Young entrepreneur, yeah. Jackie Williams, right. Another entrepreneur, as I'm being told, another entrepreneur. We have to encourage these young entrepreneurs. Jahari Auguste. Okay. I understand he was on the session with fathers and role models, so. Great. Caden Lewis. Yeah. I understand this young man, every session he was just right on top there. So give him a round of applause. Come on. Keep it going. Well done, young man. Thank you. Yanis Nelson. Right, I understand entrepreneurship with Ronald Musgrave. Oh, yeah, Mr. Musgrave. Nice. Well done. Kalik Cook. This one needs some more explanation.
This young man we are seeing here today, when I was passing out the flyers, he was outside fixing a bicycle. And I'm being honest, I watched him and I said, nah, pass him straight. And something tell me, no, talk to this young man. When I spoke to him about the program, he was like, sir, hold on. I'm going and call my mother. I want to be in this program. He has been on every single session. When he has lessons, he'll message me before. Mr. God, I'm on air, but if you hear me talking, I'm listening to my lessons. And every session he has been on. And this young man is now the student council president for Trinity East Secondary School. He called me after the last session. So he was like, Mr. God, you see that program? I want to do something in my school. I want to go up for student council. So he asked me if I will join with them to help them with their campaign. He did a manifesto. He did everything. That session was more intense than a general election. I couldn't keep up with that student chat. Mr. Cook, congratulations. You make me proud. Thank you.
What a testimony to the success of this program. I don't think we could get it any better than this. On the program here, I'm seeing we have entertainment by Malachi Bramble. Malachi? God?
Mr. Malachi Bramble is a young man who has turned a room into his house, into his own music studio, and he's producing beats. So today, I want you all to take the opportunity to hear this young man with a beat that he created all by himself. Mr. Bramble.
Wow. This is incredible. Thank you so much, young man. Thank you. We have to say thanks. I know that we have a vote of thanks from Mrs. Melissa Gibbs. However, Mr. Aguada asked me to find out, Mr. Khan is the principal of the school, and he would like to thank him for giving us the use of the school for this particular program, this graduation. Is there a representative from the school here with us? No? Okay, well, I think he will get the message directly from you, Mr. Aguada, right? So, earlier on, we had called on Zachary Thompson to do his testimonial, 8 to 11. He was stuck in traffic. He's here now, so we'd ask him to come up and do his testimonial. Zachary?
Good afternoon, the PGIC committee members, parents, guardians, and my fellow graduates. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you on this auspicious occasion, having successfully completed Project Uplift's first ever male mentorship program. I would like to thank the person whose vision mainly led us here today, Mr. Grant. I would also like to acknowledge his dedication, perseverance, and consistency, mostly because he didn't have to do this for us, but saw a need and chose to go beyond the call and create an opportunity we were privileged to benefit from, and many other young men to come. Project Uplift is a male mentorship program that drives young men like ourselves to become extraordinary men. Life lessons, a strong value system, and affirmations, to name a few, were some of the special tools that the Project Uplift team used to inspire us in many ways to be well-rounded young men. Throughout our journey, we got the chance to meet many influencers from around Trinidad and Tobago who shared their experiences, perspectives, and wisdom with us. The wealth of information gained from them, once applied and turned into daily habits, will surely lead us to success. The program created a safe space for us and allowed us to openly express our thoughts and opinions without the fear of being judged. I personally became more comfortable sharing and being myself. In so many ways, Project Uplift helped me in my personal development, like how to act when I have an encounter with a bully, or how to dress for the right occasion, money management, and last but certainly not least, our most memorable dining etiquette session. Sorry. I wish to see Project Uplift spread nationwide and help young men who do not have a proper role model in their life gain what we have all gained. I will forever be grateful for this program, and I would like to believe that I speak for all of us when I say thank you.
Well done, young man. Thank you very much. Okay, well, I think that's it. I know that the minister is Minister Foster, the Minister of Youth Development and National Service. is a person who can stand on his feet and deliver without anything written. He is here with us, and it would be remiss of Mr. Guada and the committee not to allow the Honorable Minister to say a few words to these young men, to the parents, and to, of course, the guests invited here this afternoon. So, Honorable Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me just say that it's a pleasure to be here. And I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Mr. Clark, to Jerry, and other members of this team for doing such a program. Sometimes we need the support of citizens who will come and who will step forward and say, let me assist. Because we recognize there's a lot of work to do with our young people, in particular our young men. And therefore, I applaud a program like this, and I was saying earlier on, this is something that we will certainly want to support, and I will certainly welcome an opportunity to sit with you and have discussions as to how we can support such a program. Parents, thank you for allowing your young men to take part in a program like this. Mentorship is something that we have to encourage throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Young men, you have bright futures ahead of you. Do your best, excel, and make your parents proud. I'm very pleased to see you all here this evening and to know that you have taken part in such an excellent program. It's something that I think that we can export to other parts of Trinidad and Tobago, and in particular, my constituency of La Joquita, and therefore I invite you all to have some discussions in the not too distant future. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Point well taken. And I know that Mr. Guada is probably smiling from ear to ear, given that commitment. Well, we have come to the end of this incredible, fabulous program. And I must say to you young men, I know that you have been here quite a lot. Young people are restless, they're ready to go. But I would like to ask you to take this opportunity and be mentors as you go forward. Parents, I would ask that you also contribute in your own way, and you could even form a parent group that would oversee these young men as they go forward, and of course, support Mr. Guada in his endeavors. So, Minister, again, thank you very much for, coming to the microphone at such short notice. But I know that what was said is something that would benefit the young men, the parents, and of course, the committee. I would like to thank you for giving me your attention this afternoon. Mr. Guada and others, the committee, I'd like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to be the master of ceremonies for this program. And as you meet and greet and whatever refreshments they have for you, when that is completed, I wish you safety as you go to your various homes. I also ask that you continue to follow the 3 Ws, because if you look at the COVID numbers, it's really something that is worrisome to all of us. So I ask you to be very careful with both parents and those in the homes. Be careful and look, have safety at the forefront. So thanks again. Enjoy. Well, we have the vote of thanks that would be given by Mrs. Melissa Gibbs, and I bid you farewell. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I get to do this vote of thanks. As you can imagine, Project Uplift is the result of cooperation, collaboration, and efforts from various persons and organizations. I would like to highlight those organizations and individuals for their contribution in making this project successful. I would like to thank the Ministry of Sport and Community Development and the Office of the Prime Minister for granting funding to us in getting this project off the ground. Special thanks to our distinguished guests, the ministers that were present, Minister Cummins, Minister Lyons, Minister Young. We thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. To the facilitators that gave up their time and knowledge for the program, we will forever be in your debt. To the graduates that stuck with the program and for the parents for staying the course, we also thank you. We want to also thank the we want to thank the principal of the Arima West Primary School, Mr. Khan, for giving us this location without any charge. But last but not least, I would like to thank the previous and current Panorama Gardens Improvement Committee executive for working tirelessly behind the scenes to help us run this program and to ensure today's graduation could take place. I would like to say a special thank you to Ms. Wesley Ann Howard, Mr. Martin Mulchan, Sherwin Long, Marvin Mason. I am in this list, so I am Melissa Gibbs, if you didn't get the name before. Mr. Gerald Vincent, Nisha, Earl Perriman, Herman John, Grace Popplewell, Mr. Gat Guada, and all other members of the committee, past and present. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's formal proceedings. I wish to thank you for taking the time to attend and celebrate this important occasion with us. Please keep safe. I wish you traveling mercies as you return home. Additionally, we do have refreshments available to the back, and Ms. Wesley Ann Howard would like to have a short meeting. Ms. Wesley Ann Howard, right to the front here, that's our social worker. She would like to have a short meeting with the parents after to discuss a project that we would like to undertake. Just for about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, about 5 minutes, 5 minutes. All right, I thank you for your time and do have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Can I please introduce the participants and graduates of the first mentorship program to please stand, that your specially invited guests can applaud you on your achievements, please. Nehemiah.
If you give a little more than you take,
Come on, boys.
and if you try to fix more than you break,
You stand in the road that you were in, right?
if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like
everyone. So what we're going to do, we're going to be doing group photos with Mr. Gart and Miss Archie and all the invigilators, and then we're going to do the group photo together with everyone and the kids. Okay?
So kids, just
So kids, could you help us separate all these chairs left and right?